All right, we're good. We're
All
ready.
right, ready? We started?
We go
We're
on.
recording?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to episode 1 of the renewed Yeah, It's That Bad podcast, where we take movies that are certified rotten on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's movies that weren't good.
Right. And we answer the question, is it really that bad? So, for people who are familiar with the show, this is a rebirth.
You want to
Reboot.
You want to give a quick thing of what that show was? Because
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, you told me about it, but I saw like one episode, so I didn't really.
So, Yeah, It's That Bad was a podcast where 3 gentlemen from New Jersey, 3 friends, would do what I just said. Take movies that are certified rotten on Rotten Tomatoes and, discuss them, share their opinions, and answer the question, is it really that bad? And the show was great. It was really funny. These guys had great chemistry. And then I think it ran for like 3 years. And then all of a sudden it got shut down for reasons unknown.
They all got cancer and died. I heard.
Could be possibly. And
Blair Witch Project style. They disappeared.
Right.
They didn't find them anymore.
Did they get cancer in the Blair Witch Project? I don't remember that scene.
But you know they come with a newer one.
I don't know, the reboot or whatever. That actually looks pretty good.
And people are actually saying it looks decent. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Anyway, stay on topic.
I know, dude. We gotta get back to this.
So I love this show. I was sad to see it go, and I wanted to.
How'd you find this show? You just ran across it?
Yeah, podcast search for movies. I love to listen to movie podcasts.
That's the best way to find a podcast, by the way. Where you just stumble across it and you're just like, this is really cool.
You know what? Like on Stitcher, it has recommendations.
It was on Stitcher?
Apps like Stitcher have recommendations.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if it was Stitcher. I don't know if Stitcher existed back then.
So we don't even know where this podcast is going to go, but yeah, hopefully we just keep it going.
Yeah, so I love the idea and the premise, and so I said, you know what, someone should just start this thing up again, and nobody did. So now I decided to do it.
Yeah, public domain, right? Like.
So me and my friend DJ Mustachio here.
That's right. It's Mustachio, and you want to
call me Anonymous. You know what?
Mustachio.
Call me Anonymous Joe.
Anonymous Joe. It is.
There you go.
Mustachio Anonymous Joe.
So there's only 2 of us. There's not 3 of us, and we're not from Jersey.
We live in Queens, baby, Astoria.
And yeah. So
did they like get at the beginning of their podcast? Did they ever like give intros about themselves, or they just started just talking about
dude,
movies?
I told you it was anonymous.
So they just go into the movie. Okay.
I never listened to the first episode, but from what I've read on the internet, it was terrible.
That's how these episodes go, though, man.
So this one, ours is really terrible, but it's gonna get really good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, we can't expect every episode to be awesome, but it's gonna have to build.
Well, so if that's the case, I think this episode's pretty freaking good.
Well,
I'm surprised to see where it's gonna go.
I just hope in saying that like it makes us like have this not like this load on our shoulders, like, oh, we can't fuck up, and
well, hey, you just cursed.
I already messed that one up. So yeah, I'm just saying like, yeah, you can't because people are like, oh, it's the first time, I'm so nervous, like.
Is that what you said?
I'm just happy to do this as if like we're gonna be the only ones listening to it in the future. Like I don't expect like millions of people.
Well, I do.
I mean,
I want to be rich and famous.
It'd be great to have that. I'm just saying, but like it's not like one of those things where if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be upset or something.
Well, I'm gonna be very upset because that's all I care about is fame and fortune. And
we've been playing this for years,
and
we were waiting for these guys to disappear, and now we're gonna take their name.
Yeah, right. I was waiting 3 years. Actually, you know what's funny? Because I was reading about that show, and the last episode aired August 2013.
Whoa. So, like, we're in August right now.
Mm-hmm. 3 years later.
It would be really weird.
The Holy Trinity.
It would be really weird.
And the movie we're going to talk about is The 13th Warrior.
What is that?
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-Life 3?
Right?
It's all the rumors are correct. That's it. Gabe Newell's going to hear this.
Right.
You know, that guy's a genius. Whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about the movie now.
Yeah, all right. So, okay. What is your history with this movie?
I think dude, I can't wait to tell you about the history of this movie.
No, what is your history with the movie?
Yeah, I'm saying like my history, like how I came across this movie. Because when this movie came out in 1999, wow. So I was about to graduate high school. I think 99 was like my graduation year.
Same.
And at that point, like I was one of those kids, like a nerdy kid. I'm gonna go back. I'll get all therapeutic over here, like therapist. But like we used to watch movies all the time. Like me and my friends would get together, we'd rent movies. And when this movie was coming out, it looked amazing. Like I was like, Eaters of the Dead, that looks crazy. And like, you know, it was like a Michael Crichton thing. It's a book, obviously. If people don't know who the 13th Warrior is, just look it up. 13th Warrior.
Do you know the name of the book?
Yeah, Eaters of the Dead. That's the name of the book.
You really do know this one.
And Michael Crichton was one of those guys like he's beloved by like everybody. Like the guy can't make a bad movie. I mean, well, his movies. It's funny how like some.
You mean his books are
his
really,
books, but some of some authors' books like they always suck, right? Like Stephen King, like out of like 10 of his movies that were 10 of his books that were converted into movies, like one of them was okay. But Michael Crichton, for some reason, like they were always hits.
Really?
They were always like
what
most
about,
of them.
Well, what about The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2?
We can get to that later because like that movie is so bad. But it's funny, dude. If you, all right, real quick, a little segue, real quick about The Lost World was. He never does sequels, right? He wrote that book because Spielberg. You saw,
yeah.
you know that?
I read that. Yeah.
Because Spielberg wanted him to write it or whatever. Yeah. And that's the only reason why he did it. And apparently the book was somewhat okay versus the movie. Was just bad.
I heard the book. The movie is very different from the book.
Right. And that's so sad. The book is
actually somewhat interesting.
It's so sad how Spielberg made the movie, and it just had nothing to do with the book. It's like, why would you do that?
And I think wasn't the book called Jurassic Park: The Lost World?
Something like that, yeah.
Isn't that a much more logical title than The Lost World Jurassic Park?
Well, I think that they just messed up in the movie so bad that they were just like, we just gotta get a... It's almost like, what's that one movie, World War Z? Like, they shouldn't even...
to go back and change the whole ending? Is that what you mean?
Well, no, I'm just saying they shouldn't even call it World War Z because it had nothing to do with the book. Like, the book was like so... Dude, if Tarantino would have directed World War Z, oh my God, it would have been so amazing.
What about Wanted? That was like...
Yeah, that was so...
night and day compared to the...
Dude, we have a lot in common, bro, because, like, I thought the movie Wanted was so bad compared to the graphic novel. The graphic novel was genius. But have you seen Surrogates? Remember the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Dude, the graphic novel was just as bad as the movie. Like, it was so boring. I was trying to read the graphic novel. I was like, oh, the graphic novel was probably better. It wasn't. It was, like, even worse. All right, so the 13th Warrior.
Right. What's your history? This podcast will go for 5 hours.
So check this out, man. Like, so the 13th Warrior.
You were in high school.
This movie has so many bad... Dude, this movie was destined to fail. And it has everything to do because of Crichton and McTiernan. Like, Crichton should have never been attached to it. But he was like... He was one of those guys... I guess he was such a darling to Hollywood that like he could do whatever he wanted. And he... As a matter of fact, he should have never gotten McTiernan to do it anyway.
So, hang on a second. John McTiernan, didn't he do Die Hard?
Yes, okay. Dude. And Die Hard is a genius movie. We know that.
Let me see what else he did.
He did a lot. Dude, he did Predator.
Ah. So then...
So, all right, so check it out. As a kid growing up in the 80s, Predator and Die Hard are like those are like my movies that I would go to for like how to be a masculine guy.
And he did Die Hard with a Vengeance.
No, he didn't.
It says right there.
He actually did that?
Director died.
Click on that. Let's just double check.
It says right there, director.
Oh,
here, this is his page, dude.
Because With a Vengeance was awesome. That movie was good. I thought the second one was okay.
All right, continue what you were saying.
So
you look to these movies to see what a man would be like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to know like how to be a man, like watch a McTiernan movie like from the 80s, like Predator. You watch the movie, just like that's what you want to be. Die Hard. It's amazing. I didn't know he directed Hunt for October.
Hard, not Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard. So like Hunt for October, I gotta watch that, man. He directed that.
You never seen that?
Never saw it fully. Like I'd see it on TV and stuff.
This would suck. Thomas Crown Affair.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch.
And it came out the same year as 13th Warrior. I think he had an off year.
It's weird though, because the 13th Warrior, if you think about 13th, all right, so 13th Warrior was out before Lord of the Rings. There was no Beowulf movie. There was no, but Lord of the Rings. All right, listen, the reason why I bring up Lord of the Rings is because Lord of the Rings is like everybody's like, oh, Lord of the Rings, yeah, Game of Thrones, and it all ties in, and like everybody knows. But 13th Warrior was before all of that, and you know what I'm saying all this because I actually I super nerded out on this movie, and I watched they had like on Daily Motion, they had like the behind the scenes, and they had like 5 clips of like interviews of all the actors and the director.
Okay.
And so that's why I kind of know like a little bit more. But all right, so I'm gonna tell you when I was in high school when this movie came out, we rented it, on Blockbuster, VHS.
What's that?
I think it was.
What's a VHS?
Yeah, I think it might have been VHS or DVD. Dude, kids don't even know about the struggle back then, bro. They don't even know. Rewind, please be kind. Rewind.
I don't know what we're talking about.
They don't understand. All right, so watch this movie, right? And the movie, the version that I saw, is not the version that we just saw on Daily Motion or on whatever you saw. The one that we just saw, the one that I saw recently, which was like yesterday, and the one you just saw right now, so we can talk about this movie today, was they added a couple scenes to make it a little less choppy. So the version that I saw, they cut out so much, and the reason why they cut out so much is because this is a movie. If you ever read I never read the book, but if you read the book, you know what it's about. But this is the first movie where the lead character, who is the hero, is a Muslim. The guy is Muslim. He's was the religion Islam or whatever.
Well, here, I think it says right here.
I don't think it says it. So
whatever, go ahead.
So what's funny is back when this movie came out, they left it all out. They tried to.
Oh really?
They tried to take out every religion.
Censored that?
They tried to censor everything.
Every scene that mentioned
every scene that had religion in it. It was weird because in the 90s there was no like
political correctness.
There was no political correctness. There was no 9/11. There was no weirdness. So I don't understand why they wanted to take anything out. But as you know, I lived in Texas, by the way, at this time. So like at the moment, like. I guess maybe they want to make it seem as more American because like so the preview, the trailer was just like this is like a Braveheart type movie. Like this is like just hardcore old school,
right.
Like you know like old school, just like you know we're fighting but there's Vikings involved. And like as a kid, like listening, like seeing the preview, I was like this looks so cool. It's like it's got Vikings. It's got these guys who are like these cannibals, these like weird monster things that you couldn't even tell. So. I feel like I just talk about the entire movie right now. But
well, okay, so you've seen the movie. Did you like it when you were a kid?
All right. So the issue that I had with it was when we watched it, we had no idea what was going on, and like when you're watching it on a really terrible like non HD screen,
right?
The biggest problem that this movie had, and like the previews, everybody didn't like the movie because it was supposed to be all right. So check it out. The movie was PG-13, but then they switched it to R at the last minute. So like you could tell that they just like they added a bunch of stupid stuff just to try to like throw in the goriness of it, but it was too late because when I was watching it, I was just like. Dude, like you could tell that they kind of like held back, but then they added like a couple scenes where it's like bloody or whatever, and it just didn't work. And then finally, when I saw like the behind the scenes, I realized why it didn't work. We can talk about that later, but I don't want to. I want to get into that.
I'll share my history.
All right, so what was yours?
I have no history.
So you never even saw it like back when it came out?
I heard of it. I mean, I remember like the movie when it came out, but I didn't see it. I thought this looked stupid.
Really?
But.
Were you not into like those types of like those like warrior movies back then?
I think what happened was, this is August 1999, so I was out of high school, right? That was right when I started.
And this is like after The Matrix, so like.
This is right when I started watching movies a lot, hardcore.
Why didn't you start watching? I used to be a movie fanatic, but like maybe that was just a distraction in my opinion. Were you just like more into school? You were just like, school.
No, I got a job at Hollywood Video and then had access to free movies whenever I wanted. Oh,
Hollywood Video, man. They had that in Texas too, man.
So.
They had that in Jersey?
Yeah. That's awesome. Had a couple. So.
To get this, dude, in my town, there was a Blockbuster, and right across the street was a Hollywood Video. Like, who does that?
Ridiculous.
Who does that?
So.
It's great for us, though.
What was I saying?
All right, so yeah, you worked at Hollywood Video.
I mean, I knew it, and I knew who Antonio Banderas was, but I never saw this movie.
And he had just come off of like what, Desperado?
I don't know.
He was hot though. He was like like the lead.
Let me.
All right, so yeah.
Let me do the synopsis here. I think we should have done the synopsis first, actually, before history. But whatever. Okay. Here's the synopsis. All right. A man, having fallen in love with the wrong woman, I don't remember that part, is sent by the Sultan himself on a diplomatic mission to a distant land as an ambassador. Stopping at a Viking village port to restock on supplies, he finds himself unwittingly embroiled on a quest to banish a mysterious threat in a distant Viking land. So, The 13th Warrior is a 1999 film. It says August 27th, 1999. The genre is action, adventure, history. History is a genre? And what? Hour and 42 minutes R rating. Hour and 42 minutes, which felt like 3 hours, by the way.
It felt really long, dude. I had to break it in half, too. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
I had to stop and get Chinese food. Because I was like, Jesus Christ.
I can't believe you actually sat through the whole thing.
There were some times when I was on my phone, I'm not going to lie. Directed by John McTiernan of Die Hard, Predator, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Hunt for Red October fame.
I only know him.
Michael Crichton uncredited. I didn't know he was a director. Apparently he is.
Yeah, so in the behind the scenes, Crichton was basically like literally directing the whole movie.
Really?
So like they would always fight with each other, and McTiernan would direct the scene, and then Crichton
would be like, "No, do it like this."
Without saying, he would redirect the entire scene in another studio, and they would,
What?
They would go back. Dude, it's hilarious, dude. They were going back and forth.
Okay, well, like behind McTiernan's back.
Yeah, well, not, I mean, I think I think most of it was that. Like they would just be like, I don't like this scene, I'm gonna redo it, and.
All right, so it was written by Michael Crichton, the novel. William Wisher Jr. screenplay as William Wisher. I don't know what that means.
That's a cool name.
And then, so the movie. So wait, don't.
All right, so your
don't
history
look.
though. Your history was what? You just
Wait,
didn't
wait,
even know.
wait. We're not there yet. Hang on.
Oh, you wanted to go over the synopsis first? Okay, that's right.
Wait, what is this? Here, okay. Here's another storyline. Sheikh Ahmed Ibn Fadlan leads a group of savants from Baghdad according to the caliph's request to meet the demand of the Bulgarian's king Almash Yaltwar, who asked to learn about the Islamic religion to find explanation for the most important question. How can this religion, which comes from the heart of the desert, create the biggest empire in the world? What the hell? That's not right at all. Okay, so the movie, the budget was $85 million. Don't look.
God.
How much do you think it made opening weekend? Take a guess.
Well, I already saw the number, but but I remember when it first came out though, like everybody just said that it was just a disaster. Like it was literally like the biggest, like one of the biggest flops ever. Like
how much?
What do you mean? How much do I think it?
Yeah,
lost?
so it cost $80 million. How much do you think it made?
Oh, it made around like 10 million or something.
Okay, it made 10 million U.S. opening weekend, gross 32 million.
That's worldwide. That's crazy.
And that was
85 million.
That was what, 4 months, 3 months, August to November is 3 months.
I think DVD sales kind of helped it though. That's right. I remember them saying that DVDs kind of.
Hang on a second. Look at this. Isn't this?
That's
oh,
not
no,
Clive.
that's Clive Owen. I'm thinking.
Clive Russell.
Never mind. Screw this guy. Anyway, okay. So now history. Well, I mean, literally, that was my history.
History. That was it. So you didn't even. So you were just like, yeah, it's just a movie. It just comes out.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Well, okay. So let's go to the cast. Okay.
The cast.
All right. Antonio Banderas. How did you think he did as Ahmed Ibn Fadlan?
Well, he's the only big name guy in this movie. So,
Okay. What do you mean? What about Diane Venora?
man, this movie's such a. This is the thing, dude. What's so cool about McTiernan is that he's a man's man type of movie maker.
What the hell is that?
Like, well, when you know, the reason why I rented this movie because it felt like one of those like man's man movies, like bunch of guys are getting together, they're gonna go fight
Being
some
tough.
evil. Let's go fight some evil. Let's go vindicate. Let's go liberate the nation.
Oh.
You know, I'm just saying, like it's one of those movies like you watch this movie because you know it's gonna be dudes. Like you don't really care about the chicks in the movie unless like
Right.
they're just like, you know, like looking hot. Or
Well,
whatever.
okay. How about Omar Sharif? That's a big name.
Yeah, it's funny too. They mentioned him in that behind the scenes. Like people love that guy.
Mm.
I totally forgot that he was in what's that movie? Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia.
All right. So let's get right into it. All right. What did you think of this movie?
You know, it's funny, man. Like this movie, it could have been so good. It could have been so amazing, and it just failed in every way. And like you can see, this is the perfect movie where you can see two heads butting with each other. You can see like, just it just shows when there's too many cooks in the kitchen. This is what you get when you watch the 13th Warrior.
So what do you mean? Explain.
As in like.
'Cause I didn't see that.
Really?
I didn't. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let me tell you my general opinion.
All right. Yeah. What was yours then?
So first of all, this is a hard movie to watch. I had a really hard time understanding what was going on. This plot synopsis that we just read: a man having fallen in love with the wrong woman is sent by the Sultan on a.
Well, the version you saw at the beginning of the movie, doesn't he explain it? He's like, I was sent to the.
You mean when he's on the ship?
No, at the beginning of the movie.
The first scene, he's on the ship.
Right, but then like it goes back into the backstory.
Oh, what? There was a woman. He was in love.
No, it's like the backstory. Remember, like, so he's on the ship, right? It's like, shh.
Right, and then...
And he's like, but then I was...
There's a flashback.
And then he explains, the flashback.
Right, but even in the flashback, there's no
in the
woman
flashback,
like,
there's a woman.
What are you talking about?
They just showed, like, a chick with a veil over her face, and then, like, he looked at her.
Oh!
And then...
He looked at her for 2 seconds,
yeah, it was like
and he's
2
in
seconds.
love with her?
And then the bad guy was... Or her husband saw it, and he's like,
I'm
gonna get rid of you. He's like, I'm jealous.
That's what was happening?
That was it.
So this is what I'm trying to say. I could not understand what's
Well, that's the
happening
thing.
in this movie.
But, dude, they didn't put that in the original that I saw.
Why?
Back in
There's
99.
no mention of religion in that scene. Why would they take that out?
Dude, because he explains where he's from, like Arabia. So I guess Arabia was like a bad thing. So
Well,
dude,
then without that scene, there's no context for the movie.
Dude, my scene was basically he's on the ship,
Right.
and then he lands on that thing, and like he's basically
You mean a flashback?
No, on the ship there's no flashback. Oh,
So they cut the whole flashback out?
they cut the whole flashback out, and they basically show that he was like he says he's an ambassador, so he's at least with Omar and everything. They land,
Right.
and that's what you get. But dude, there was no explanation. Like you had no idea this guy was Muslim. You had no idea that he was like Islam or whatever.
Well, hold on a second. Let me ask you this: did you actually buy Antonio Banderas as a Muslim guy?
Well, dude, it's funny. The second time I saw it, I was like, dude, he's the perfect character to play. He looks Muslim. He looked like the way they.
You think so?
He looks all like effeminate. He looks like really like with his hair, with his dude, the way he talked, like he looked like.
So Muslims look effeminate.
Well, in this movie, they made him look really.
This
like,
episode's would be real offensive, man.
I know, dude, but they made him look really. What's the word like?
Soft?
Yeah, they made him look really soft. Like they made Muslims look really soft in this movie. Like, oh, he's a Muslim. He's like the Arab, Arabian Nights, basically Arabian Nights.
I don't know what that means.
Aladdin. Like that's all Americans had connected to with this stuff. Aladdin and Arabian Nights. Like, and he looks like the guy. He looks like an Arab guy. But people were pissed off, by the way. Like they're like, oh, he's not even Arab.
I'm not surprised.
Like he's not even Arab. Why is he in this movie?
Well, okay, so let me say this, all right? That scene on the ship, the visual effects look horrible. It looked like not even PlayStation 1.
Because I remember in '99, I was like, this looks amazing.
You're serious? Shut up.
Dude, for real, I was just. But that's the
It
thing.
looked horrible.
There was no HD TV, so like we couldn't even tell.
You couldn't see how bad it looked?
You couldn't see how bad it was.
Well, it looked. I wasn't gonna say something bad. It looked terrible.
It looked terrible.
Yes.
Dude. It looked really bad.
So that, and then I'm gonna be honest. There were times in the movie when I picked up my phone and I was looking on the internet.
I did the same thing. I was checking my email.
I ordered Chinese food.
I did the same thing.
I was so bored.
The dialogue was not good at all, dude.
It was like just oh my god, like I didn't care about these characters.
Dude, and that's the thing, you just don't care about these guys.
Oh god. And his whole like sudden turn from being an ambassador to a warrior was so like
it just didn't make sense at all.
And there was no
this chick with the bones, threw the bones on the floor. It's like you're gonna follow the chick that threw bones on the floor.
What? I don't even remember that now.
Well, all right. So remember they go to the thing, and Omar Sharif is talking, and he's the only one that understands the language.
Yeah.
And Antonio Banderas. I thought that was actually really cool the way they did that though. Like the whole language thing, like the way they didn't understand the language.
And then he learns it. And learns they're all speaking English.
Dude, because I always thought about it from like the actor's perspective. I'm like, how do you get actors just like talking gibberish? Like, all right, action, love to take, and it's just like. What are they saying? I wonder what they were actually speaking because it was probably half Norseman or whatever they. Because those guys,
well, some of it was Greek.
All those actors were actually from Norway or some weird area, so they actually spoke that language. So I'm just wondering if it was gibberish or if it was.
Wait, but what did you think about
the way that they edited that scene though? There's the fireplace scene.
Well, no, what I'm saying is so. They're speaking their other language, right? He's speaking English, and then to the audience, we're supposed to assume that. What he's speaking is like Arabic or whatever the hell he would speak, right? Then when he learns their language, suddenly they're speaking English, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I thought that was actually a little clever.
That was clever. That was really cool.
Allow the audience to understand.
Because it was just like, instead of like have subtitles or have them,
right.
Just like all learn English all of a sudden, like they made it seem like what you're listening to is basically like their terminology, but it's in English. Or it was cool. It was cool the way they did that. That's probably the best takeaway this movie gets.
Yeah. Now,
like people should take that.
And then the sudden turn from ambassador to warrior was nuts. There was nothing. Yeah. 1 second he's like, "Oh, I'm afraid I'm not a warrior," and then all of a sudden, bam, he's like slicing people up.
So check this out, dude. In the 1999 version that I saw, that is probably hard to find now. You probably can't get it unless you have the DVD.
Probably worth a lot of money.
Like, I wonder if it is. Like, dude, so check it out, dude. Yeah. In that version. It makes it look like he doesn't even know how to fight. It makes it look like he joins them because that witch told him that he needed to be there. But in that part, it makes it look like they're showing him how to fight.
But he doesn't know how to fight. What are you talking about?
He didn't really know how to fight. Yeah, that's true.
But he's kind of a Mary Sue because he Okay, when he's trying to...
He was like a playboy.
When he was trying to... No.
Or I'm saying he's like the playboy guy that doesn't, he doesn't want to get his hands dirty or whatever. He's like, oh, don't do that.
Well, yeah, but then all of a sudden... Like, I'm saying he's a Mary Sue because in the scene where he's, like, learning how to swing the sword...
Yeah.
He's terrible. And then literally 2 seconds later, he figures out, let me carve my sword.
Yeah, that's right. He
This
goes
other way.
He's like, well,
and then suddenly he's like chopping up trees like it's nothing.
Well, that's the thing, because it made it seem like he was trying to use their swords for no reason. It's like, why would you try to use a heavy sword if you already know how to sword fight with your Arab sword?
Oh, is that what? Oh, so he knew how to sword fight. But he
Right.
didn't know how to use their sword.
Yeah, but that's the saying. Like they didn't really explain any of that. They didn't really. And he's like, I'm gonna actually go to the blacksmith and get my sword made now. It's like, yeah, after you tried to swing their heavy ass sword for like a couple hours, like I don't understand why you would want to go back to your. Why don't you just use your regular sword in the first place? And then not have, because he had the small horse. Remember they're making fun of his horse. So like,
who suddenly can like jump over like
dude, that was
tall
hilarious.
buildings in a single bound.
That was hilarious. Where they're like, we're making fun of your horse, and now he's like, let me show you what they can do then.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. And then people are just like, wow, we were amazed. I mean, dude, the dynamic between the other 13 guys or the other 12 guys was pretty cool. They actually did that pretty well.
I liked the scene with the other dude, the one-on-one duel. When he was toying with the dude.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah,
that was the money fight scene.
Yeah,
in the movie.
that was great. I was
like when
totally
you see
into
that when you see that back in '99, you're just like, whoa, that's
And then
amazing.
when he finished him off, and he was like, "Yeah, I was playing with him the whole time." I loved
But isn't it funny though how like, cause the guy that lost his life and they were just messing with him. They threw remember they got the shovel and they threw the dirt on him and he's like, hey, watch me throwing that dirt. And he's like, I'll throw that dirt wherever I want. And then that's why they started to fight and then he kills the guy. I was like, what was that? What was the whole point?
because he was like, "You shovel like a woman" or something.
Oh wait, was it because they wanted to like get because there was like a feud between the group and they're like, yo, we have to get rid of one of their guys so we can have more control.
Maybe I couldn't understand what was happening in this movie.
I forgot what they actually did that for.
Why didn't they have more women in this movie?
And they only had like 2 or 3 chicks in that movie, right?
But barely. There was that one girl who was like healing him,
And she would always look at him.
telling him that it sounds like a woman.
They would have these scenes where like, they would just look at each other. Where he'd be walking somewhere and she'd like look at him. She'd be like, and then like he'd leave. And it was almost like I guess they were trying to imply that he was like tapping that, but
I don't think so.
they made it seem like
she
it was.
thought he was like a wuss.
It was really ambiguous. But no, remember that scene where they fell asleep together and then like when he gets up to goes to his guys, they're like, one of the guys is like, so did she wear you out? Or something like that. It's
I
like
think
right
I
before
went to
they're about
get
fight.
Chinese food during that
Yeah, you
part.
probably
I don't
wouldn't
even
listen,
remember
but it was. All right, so check it out. The reason
that.
why
Wait, no, I do remember that.
the reason why people hated this movie though was because the
It was
scene,
terrible?
the way they
Oh.
yeah, it was terrible. The way they directed it
Yeah.
was that you couldn't see anything. Like you couldn't see the fighting. You couldn't even tell what was going
Yeah,
on.
that's true.
It was too dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like,
everything.
The guys in the
happened at
horses
night.
were all running around
Yeah,
and shit.
in that first fight scene with the bear cave guy, I couldn't see what the hell
You couldn't
was
see
happening.
anything. And like to this day, you can't see anything. I double checked. I was like, you can't see what's going on. It was just like really shitty editing. Just terrible
They
editing.
say movies now have that shaky cam and you can't see the action, but no. Back in '99, you couldn't see what.
I just saw the new Bourne movie and it was so.
I haven't seen it.
The shakiness was bad. It was like because like I like the first 3. The first 3 were genius.
Well, this one wasn't. Wait, the second and third one were shaky as hell.
Right, but it worked. Like it was like you were
Alright,
into the movie. But
this
this
one, this one had no shakiness, and yet you still couldn't see anything.
13 War? No, this 13 War had bad shakiness. It was like the
There was
wrong.
shakiness. I didn't see any shakiness.
No, it was just like it was the way it moved and stuff. The way they were trying to fight. Like,
Uh-huh.
You could just tell they didn't know what they were doing. But all right, so check it out. The reason why all that happened
Right.
was because they were trying to avoid the R rating. So now that I saw the behind the scenes, that's why it was all just wrong. And Crichton was so bent on like trying to make this like a Steven Spielberg movie that he didn't let McTiernan do what McTiernan should have done and what he does right. And McTiernan makes dark movies.
When you say make it like a Spielberg movie, you mean what? Make it family friendly?
Yeah, make it like how as if Steven Spielberg were directing it. And I think Crichton was too bent on like trying to make it more like hospital, like happier or something. Because McTiernan actually said he's like I would have made this a darker movie. It would have been strictly
Really?
R. It would have been totally different.
Why did it get an R rating then? Just because they added some blood to what was already there?
Well, that's the thing. McTiernan was basically making a PG-13 movie the whole
Right.
time, and then at the end they switched it. And the reason why they changed it to 13th Warrior was because they didn't want to make it seem like it was a dark movie. Because they should have called it Eaters of the Dead. That was the original movie. That was the original name they wanted to call it. They were going to call it the same name as the book, but then like they were like, oh, people aren't going to get it. It's just weird how Hollywood just messes things up.
Hold on. What does that even mean, Eaters of the Dead? Was that referring to the bear cannibal, whatever
Right,
people?
the tribe
the thugs?
people. Right.
They didn't eat the dead. What does that mean?
They did eat the dead.
What?
They would eat them.
Wait, is that why the bones were there?
Right. All those
'Cause they
bones,
ate them?
They would eat them. Yeah.
Dude, they ate a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. But they were like a big they were a big tribe though.
Dude, it was a freaking army.
They got that right though. They got
It wasn't a tribe, it was an army.
You saw the groups of them. It was a big group.
Well, from what I could see, because it was so hard to see anything in this movie. Yeah.
Right, and the last fight scene was basically the only daytime scene, and that was like a 3-minute scene. It was like
by that point, I was like, half.
It didn't even matter. It didn't even matter.
Well,
this movie could have been so good, man, and it just failed in every single way. Banderas, I mean, he just looked like he was just there, like he just showed up out of nowhere. He looked like he did look like he was like an outsider though. Like he just showed up.
Yeah, but because he looked like he's like, what am I doing in this movie?
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, he's like, what? Huh? Like the whole time. I don't think he was even acting. I think he was just like, where is everybody?
And like the all right, so that main guy that dies. We haven't gone over the characters, but whatever.
There's who are we gonna go over? There's Antonio Banderas, and that's it.
And the guy with the blonde hair.
Yeah, the front. Who's cool? Wait, that's this
Vladimir.
Dennis Storhoy.
There you go, Dennis.
He's got that O with the slash in it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he was.
See, it's got the slash O.
So he did a lot of interview in the behind the scenes. He talked about the movie a lot. He talked about the movie a lot, and he was saying that basically they cut out a lot of things and like that these guys like there was a better dynamic between the 13 of them, and he was saying that like if they had done it a certain way.
Look at him! He's a good looking guy, right? Dashing.
It looks totally different.
Yeah, he looks cool.
In the behind the scenes.
Sorry, you were saying.
I'm gonna say, dude, that I feel bad that I watched the behind the scenes. I feel like it's like a cheat sheet or whatever of what was going on in the movie and why it was so terrible.
Wait a minute, what?
What was that? What was he in? Is that the movie?
This is, yeah.
I mean, dude, like stylistically, the set design was awesome.
Yeah.
They had everything right as far as like the way those monsters looked, or those people looked. Dude, that must have taken a lot to freaking put together. And like the setting looked cool. Mm-hmm. They shot it like in
visually it was very interesting.
Visually, it looked like it had some potential.
Yes.
And then it just.
Yeah, it was boring.
It was really boring, man. It had no entertaining value. It had no entertainment value.
I think if his character had an actual arc. Antonio Banderas' character, I mean, right? And if we like got to know him,
yeah, there was no
connect to him. You're like, who is this guy? And he didn't. He acted like I don't know what I'm doing here. So how am I supposed to connect to him? I don't know who he is. I don't care about him.
I thought the first 10 minutes were watchable, but then like once that witch is like, we need 13 people, and then like she starts naming them all.
And yeah, and when they said something about 13 months, I was like, what?
It didn't make sense.
It's not 13 months.
Didn't make sense at all.
Prophecy, whatever. Stupid. I wasn't inspired. I wasn't intrigued. I was like, what?
And that chick, Diane, whatever, Venora, like she was like in like 2 seconds of the movie. Maybe she was the bad chick.
Was she the one from the
queen?
Beginning?
She was the queen, probably.
With the veil?
I don't know.
So you can't wait. Let me cover half her face and see.
She's probably. I think she was the queen.
Does that look like
the evil queen or whatever?
Evil queen? What are you talking about? There was no evil queen.
At the end of the movie.
See, I don't even know.
Dude, how do you think the blonde guy dies? Because he gets poisoned by her. She like stabs him with a.
The blonde guy died?
Yeah, remember he's like sitting there. He puts the sword down. And he lays there and he just like dies.
Oh.
He got poisoned. That's how he died.
Man, wow.
Yeah, it was a bad movie. Oh, dude, she was in The Substitute. Remember
that movie, dude? Banderas, right?
Remember The Substitute? That movie.
Wasn't that with Antonio Banderas?
No.
Oh, this one. Antonio Banderas did a movie like this.
He did?
Yeah, where he's a high school teacher, but instead of... the way he reaches his students is through dance. Save the Last Dance, right?
I don't know. I didn't watch that shit. Dude, this Substitute movie, oh my God, man. Like, that movie...
Look, it's got a... Wait, hold on. Look. Hold on. Look, dude.
We might have to do one of these. We might have to do this.
Dude, stop. This has a 5.9.
That's what I'm saying. We might have to watch this
we can do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it for the next one.
Yeah, Substitute.
Because this movie has so many correlations. Like, it ties so many things to, like, my upbringing. Like, as far as...
What? You went to a rough school and had a teacher that was...
Dude, Mark Anthony's in this movie. Mark Anthony is a drug dealer in this movie.
Oh, sweet. Juan Lacas.
Dude, you know what's so cool about this movie, though? The
Wait,
soundtrack.
have you seen it?
Were you into hip-hop? Did you like hip-hop back in the day? Listen to hip-hop?
Around 99.
Dude, the soundtrack to this movie was genius. It had, like, every famous rapper that I used to love. Like, Wu-Tang was in it.
Let me look it up. Did you know, by the way, that every episode of the new Oh God, what's
Dude, this is when soundtracks were legit.
hang on. God, why can't I? Luke Cage.
Luke Cage was that?
Every episode of the new show is going to be named after a a Gangstar song.
What do you mean? Who? What?
You don't know Luke Cage?
No, who's Luke Cage?
Jessica Jones. Daredevil.
Oh.
Defenders.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Look at this. Please remake this with Jason Statham.
That would be so cool. I'm a huge Statham fan, by the way.
Really?
Huge fan.
Did you see Snatch?
Yeah, it's awesome.
And Lock, Stock.
Dude, you gotta see. The Mechanic was okay. That was pretty good.
That's with the kid, the blonde guy. What's his face?
Yeah, that guy's a good actor. This guy's name.
What's his name?
I forgot his name.
Aaron
Something.
Paul or something? Paul Aaron?
Not Aaron Paul, but yeah, he's kind of like Aaron Paul.
Wait, this is gonna drive me crazy. I have to look it up now. The Mechanic.
Dude, they're coming out the second
Ben
one.
Foster.
Yeah, Ben Foster. Good actor. They're coming out the second one, by the way.
Like a prequel?
Mechanic Unleashed or the Mechanic... Mechanic
Retooled?
Dude, seriously, yeah, it's like something redone or redo.
Here, soundtrack. The substitute soundtrack.
Dude, that soundtrack... Yeah, look that up, dude, real quick. This is how bad the 13th Warrior was, guys.
Wow. Who banging?
Look at that, dude.
I like
Master
that.
P. I used to love Master P. Ras Kass. Miami Life. That song is legit.
Yeah.
Have you heard that song?
No.
Dude, that put Ras Kass on the map, by the way.
Afro-Rican G-Spot G's? What the hell is that?
Dude, it's
Wait,
so
there's only 11 tracks.
it's so funny how like now, but back then when I saw the soundtrack, I thought it was amazing, and now that I look at it, I'm just like, this is like the worst soundtrack ever.
I didn't want to say it because you were like going.
Dude, so
all off of that,
TRU
but this
featuring
looks
Mr.
pretty terrible.
Servon, Bang 'Em Up. Like, dude, I used to listen to all those guys, Mr. Servon, TRU. They were all like down south guys.
Who? Oh, True?
TRU, yeah.
That's what how you say it?
That's
Mr.
Master-
Servon. What kind of names are these?
TRU is Master P's brothers, like him and his two brothers.
And what is this? Young Murder Squad featuring
Skilla?
Shakilla?
Skilla.
No, I think it's like Shkilla, like Shamakilla.
Dude, but so Who Bangin', the first song on that soundtrack, Mac 10 and Ice Cube, like that song was huge back then. Like that was like the hit single.
Really? I don't even remember.
Dude, Who Bangin', yeah. Like seriously, like
How does it go? Sing it. Is it
I
like
forgot.
Who banging? I'm banging.
I have no
Oh, no,
idea.
it's not,
I forgot.
It's not who.
I literally
W.
forgot, dude.
Who banging?
But I need to go back.
Is it who like short for hood?
I'm about to go. When we finish this, I'm gonna go home and listen to every song and relive, dude. But this Miami Life song was hilarious. Dude, it was a good song, Miami. I still remember the chorus, Miami Life, forever my life, or something like that. My life.
You're like, I still remember it.
I just actually don't remember.
All right, we're gonna talk about this 13th warrior. This episode with the 13th warrior.
All right,
How long is this? Okay, we've been talking.
Bring us back in,
Check
dude.
the time. Whatever. I think these episodes are only like 40 minutes.
37 minutes right now.
37 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow, we just talked about this movie for 37 minutes. Okay, wait. Let me.
So what else do we need to bring about the 13th Warrior? What are we missing?
Wait, hold on one second. Hold on. Yeah, it's. I just want to see how long these episodes actually were.
They're probably like 40 minutes long. I think they're
Yeah,
like 40
probably.
minutes, 45 minutes.
Let me just double check. Hang on.
By the way, dude, I'm into like doing like 3-hour podcasts. By the way, So,
I'm.
so I'm just saying, like, you know, we're never gonna. It's never gonna feel like it's like too long for me. I can just go on.
Where's the thing?
Final episode. The Mummy Returns. Oh my god. I hated that movie. I'm just saying, like, for this show that we're doing, I want to be able to, like
33. That's it. Wait,
yeah.
it's like going up. What the hell?
It's probably
That sounds
35
about right.
minutes.
I remember they were about 30. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 30
So we're
minutes.
basically done. So
Alright, so what are we missing? Nothing?
I don't remember. I think we. Oh no. Oh duh, dude. We have to answer the central question.
Alright, what
Is it really that bad?
Wait.
Before you answer that, hold on. Rotten Tomatoes. Hang on.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Duh.
I can't believe Suicide Squad was not that good of a movie.
What are you talking about? They said it was good.
Really? I thought the critics said it was bad.
Yeah, but the users said it was great.
This is the thing, though, man. Like, users said that Batman vs Superman was great.
I think the user score went down though. Okay. Why is it all blurry? Jeez. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 33%, right? So,
30.
is it that bad?
It is that boring, but as far as that bad, it's not that bad. Like they
What's the difference?
they got a lot of things right, But it was a boring. Like, this is the thing, dude. I think in 2016, man, like our attention spans are just different. Like we don't know how to sit through a whole movie.
Dude,
Like, dude, can you sit through the whole
sounds like a
Godfather
cop-out.
movie? Could you sit through the whole
I
Godfather
could.
movie?
I
From
watched,
start to finish.
I
Like, I would have to pause it like 10 times.
I couldn't watch it in one sitting because something happened, but if not for that, I could have. And I only watched it like a year or two ago.
I find myself watching really good movies in like halves. Like,
That's because your attention span is like...
it's like gone.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
like
the movie's
literally
fault.
gone.
All right.
It takes a certain movie for me to like be sucked into it. Like, I'm trying to think of a movie that I got sucked into, and I was just like, I need to watch everything. Oh, the Tom Cruise movie.
Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah, dude. Dude, from the minute
sucked into that.
I was like on the edge of my seat to like the very end. It was amazing.
So,
bless you.
wasn't that uncomfortable sitting on the edge the whole time?
Is that funny? Pun intended.
So
I was on the edge of my seat, the edge of tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
That was
literally
good.
I didn't
literally on the edge.
Yeah, that was good. So, okay.
What the-
Yeah, it's that bad as far as I'm concerned.
So you thought it was terrible?
Yeah.
Like, it's in like everything. Like, in
No
terms of,
redeeming qualities at all. Worst movie ever. Like the Cell Gigli level of.
Dude,
No, I'm just kidding.
I thought the Cell
No,
was
it
so
was-
terrible. That
there
movie
were-
was so bad.
There was stuff that
I never saw Geely. How could you
I
sit
never-
through
I
that?
didn't see I didn't see it. I don't
I
know.
was about to say.
Okay, there were things that were entertaining, the little bits and pieces. It wasn't the worst movie in the world, but yeah, it is that bad.
But you know what's funny is this movie, like, it showed up on theaters and it disappeared. Like, so I would have gone to go see this in theaters, but like it just literally disappeared. Like, you couldn't even go find it. Like, it went straight to video. Yeah, they pulled it. They pulled it from the theaters like in the second.
It was that bad.
And then not only did they pull it, but like it took a while for it to get on video. Which is weird. So like there was like a big like 6-month break.
I'm sure they weren't in any big rush to get it out there. They're probably like, whatever, we'll get to it.
I think they wrote it off. They're just like, this movie's a failure.
Well, this is August '99, right? You know what came out right at that time, right?
The Matrix.
Not that, dude. Another movie. A really big movie.
Was it good?
Uh,
August of '99. Give me like another more hint. Give me like a.
It wasn't in August. Actually, yeah, I think it was August.
It was like a.
It was a really big franchise. It was a really highly anticipated, hyped up movie.
Was it like an adult movie or was it like a kids movie?
Sorry. No, it was an adult movie. But kids like it.
Oh God, I'm trying to think.
It had a kid in it, which pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, RoboCop.
No, what?
RoboCop 2. Remember this little kid? There?
99? What the hell are you talking about? A huge franchise. One of the biggest franchises and movies in the world.
Jesus.
They made like a theme park.
Star Wars or something.
There you go, episode 1, dude.
That came out in '99. That
What-
came
what
out in
did I just
'99.
said? Here, look.
That came out when The Matrix came out.
Matrix came out in the spring of '99.
Yeah, it was like March.
Here, look. Yeah. Hold on. Matrix was.
I'll never forget that.
Matrix. Where is it? Yeah, March
99.
31st. Right. Episode 1. I think it was because I remember this. I saw it with my.
I took a girl to that
Sister.
movie. I went with my friend
Why would you do that?
Evanis, and I had a blast.
Event. Oh, May. That's not right.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, The Phantom Menace came out in May.
Came out before the 13th Warrior.
When did 13th Warrior come out? August?
Yeah.
No, 13th Warrior came out after. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 13th Warrior was just like it was like a late summer movie. Nobody knew about it.
An afterthought.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. Episode 2 got a higher rating than 13th Warrior.
Dude, Return of the Jedi is like the best movie ever.
You mean, wait, what? Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, that episode 2.
You're talking about Empire Strikes Back, which only got an 8.8. Wow. Return of the Jedi got an 8.4. Jeez.
That's
What
dude, but
Force
this is the thing, dude.
Awakens? 8.2 for Force Awakens.
But
Yeah.
look, this is the thing. IMDb is always skewed. Like they don't know what they're doing sometimes. Like to give like episode 2 that good of a rating is just like that's sacrilegious, man.
You mean Empire Strikes Back, episode 6?
No,
Episode
I mean
5?
episode 2.
Sorry.
No, I mean Attack of the Clones.
That's
like,
not a good rating. 6.7 is terrible.
dude, it needs to be like a 4.0 or something.
I mean, the substitute was a 6.6, so do what you will with that.
Oh, that's true. The substitute was a 6.6 and this movie was
Look
a
at Jake
6.7.
Lloyd now. Wow, he looks like he is ready for...
He's bitter, man. That guy's so
Chewie.
bitter.
Why would he be bitter? Like
Because everybody hates him.
whatever.
You heard what he said. He's like, I'm never gonna act again because
Yeah, I know.
they made fun of me.
So all he has to do is one really amazing role, and everyone will love him again.
Yo, I like how Ewan McGregor just survived.
Look at that picture. Look at that. Look at that. I love
Ewan
it.
McGregor still
I
survived.
love it.
He's like, I made money, bitches.
He's like, I don't care. Everyone, I was like the best part of those movies.
Even Liam Neeson is just like, whatever, my money. I mean, dude, Samuel L. Jackson's still doing a good job. He's still kicking ass.
I don't know.
He's making some weird movies though. He's making some odd stuff. He makes really good movies, then he'll make like some like off the wall like I just need money for a paycheck or something movie. You see that movie he's doing right now with King Kong? That movie looks. I'm telling you, man. I'm not gonna go with it yet.
Kong.
He's making a King Kong movie, man.
Shut up. Let me see. King Kong 2? The kingiest?
It's called Kong.
Kong Skull Island? What is that? A prequel?
Skull.
Look at this. Triple X Return of Xander Cage.
I never got into Triple X movies. Dude, we gotta do a. Dude, we should do a Vin Diesel movie though. There's gotta be one.
Alright, well, next week, Substitute.
Yeah, it's just Substitute's gonna be tough one, man.
Why?
It's probably gonna suck so bad, but when I saw it back in the day, I was like, this movie's so crazy.
Alright, so that's it for 13th Warrior.
Alright, yeah, I think we wrapped it. We're basically going into like any other movie but the 13th Warrior.
Next week we'll stay on.
It's such a
topic.
forgettable movie.
Well, because yeah, exactly.
It's so
in
forgettable.
its own episode, we can't even talk think.
But I feel like my 2016 self is just being so smeared by all this like, dude, I don't know about you kids now, but dude, we have so many things now to be distracted to. Like I love my phone more than I love movies now, and like I can't even like stare at a movie unless it's like Edge of Tomorrow good, where it's like.
Well, I think the Substitute will have more to talk about because like I'll be able to understand what the heck's going on.
I thought Tom, what's his name? The guy that plays Substitute was a great actor.
Tom Berenger?
Tom Berenger, there you go. Remember the Sniper movie that he made? I thought that movie was amazing.
No, but all right, let's wrap it up. So that's it for episode 1. Not that episode 1. Episode 1 of the show. 13th Warrior.
Episode 1
so
of this.
So tune in next week for...
Of Yeah, It's That Bad, episode 1. The re-bringing back of Yeah, It's That Bad, episode 1.
No, next week will be episode 2.
Right, the next week will be episode 2.
The Substitute.
The Substitute, 1996. All right, so we're wrapping it.
Wrap it.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys on the next
week.
Peace.
Kill it.